Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Skin Talk Tuesday podcast. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Everyone, we have the most special guest today. Probably the reason that we are all here today, Miss Elizabeth Endres-Orrigo, the host of the Wellness Process podcast. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank
This
you guys
is seriously
so much.
like the most full circle moment, I have to tell you, because I wouldn't even have known Nick if it wasn't for you.
Oh my God, that's right.
Like hosting you into
yes, I forgot.
Pacific Touch, what was it, like 7 years ago at this point? Like
At
maybe more?
least. It was pre-COVID because
Yeah, definitely.
It was
never forget our
definitely
conversation.
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw your post. You posted about like Pacific Touch and you were like, this is an amazing experience. If you have acne, you need to see this person. And then I immediately texted you and like did the whole thing, which all of our listeners know, like all of how it used to be way back in the day to like book
Do
with
you
you.
remember how I remember
course.
you casually going to me, so how can people get a hold of you? And I was like, oh, just give them my cell phone
I
number.
just dropped your number on the internet.
7 years ago was so different.
And you had
Seriously.
just a piece of paper you were keeping the schedule on and a phone
Uh-huh.
number. That was it.
Literally, that's how it was. I
those are the
texted her
days.
immediately, got an appointment, and feels like the rest is history, honestly. So
It really
thank you
is. This
for
is
all you've done.
pre-waitlist.
7 years.
7 years.
Crazy. Well, let's take it back. So how did you find Pacific Touch?
Okay, so actually through my friend Lauren Houghton. She ran the account Beauty Disclosed.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
don't know
God,
if we've
you're-
ever talked about
No,
this.
no.
And I was struggling with my skin, and she's like a guru. I mean, she just like really knows skincare from the inside out. And I was telling her about it, and she was like, "You have to see Nicola." And I was like at my worst. I had hormonal acne, I had rashes, I had bumps. I mean, I was someone who had very clear skin. I was very lucky to have clear skin for most of my
Mhm.
life. And it was like mid-20s, I think, when I just started developing all of these problems. Actually, after stopping birth control, after being on it for about 10 years. So
Okay.
there
Did
was
you know, were you warned about what might happen when you stop birth control?
no, of course not. Nothing.
Really? So you just like stopped it and
Yes.
that's kind of where you saw
I don't know
most
that
of the
anyone is
symptoms.
ever warned about. That shocks me that
Yeah.
people aren't warned. Well, when you go off birth control, this can happen.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and a little later, like it doesn't happen straight away.
That was okay. So that's what really threw me off because I got outside of that like 6-month window.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're good. We're in the clear. I
Mhm.
remember texting Dale and being like, skin issues aren't popping up for me.
Uh-huh.
We're good here.
Yeah.
And then they
Wow.
hit. And so then it's extra confusing because you feel like you're in the clear. And so it's not the birth control. And so what is it? And that's
Yeah.
when I at least became very obsessive with trying to figure out like what caused this? What am I doing wrong? What, a million different avenues that you can go down, of course.
I reckon as well, like there's quite a few people in the community that struggled with acne and skin issues all of their lives, like from, teenage years. And then we have that sector of the community that really didn't have any issues with their skin, or birth control and other things suppress the symptoms for a really long time. And then they just get hit
Yes.
sort of mid-20s. It feels like a tsunami, and they really have no frame of reference. Like the overwhelm is even higher because
Mhm.
they never struggled before and they really don't know what to do.
Yes. Like I'm
Mhm.
used to my areas that I'm used to struggling in. This
Yeah.
was not one of them. And by the way, I
Mhm.
have immense empathy for people that have always struggled with their skin. That's not to
Mhm.
say that that is any easier.
Yeah.
But it certainly hit me like a freight train in my mid-20s.
Well, I feel
Right.
like you don't have that frame of reference, right? And so, it's hitting you at a time where not necessarily everybody else is dealing with it. Like I feel like
Yes.
not to downplay it because it was still traumatic, but when I started to break out, Mary, I don't know if this was your case as well in teenage years, but everyone sort of has issues in high school. There's just a
Mhm.
few people that don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's company in the misery of it.
Yes.
But then as you get older, it's like depending on, sort of your circles, sometimes you can feel really alone. Like you're the only one dealing with it.
totally.
Yeah, you don't really fit into a bucket. 'Cause
No.
there's the people that have been struggling for a long time and they kind of like know what to do by now. And then there's the people that it just randomly hits and you feel very isolated. And
Yeah.
like I said, you can become very obsessive about it because it's your face.
Totally.
And
yeah.
that only fuels the whole system, as we know.
Uh-huh.
Because I think your nervous system and the way you're talking to yourself and all of that matters so much.
Did you know that back then? Like if you go back to before you came to Pacific Touch, What was your first course of action to deal with your skin? Do you remember?
I feel like pre-seeing you,
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the camp of dry, 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 dry. It was
Yeah. Classic.
salicylic, it
Mhm.
Yeah.
was like topicals, it was just dry this thing out so that there's no way that a pimple can form kind of thing. I mean, I had like old school remedies,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Neutrogena.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was using
Oh,
like the
yeah.
St. Ives peach scrub. Like
Oh
it
my
it was
gosh.
Yeah.
bad.
It's so
Yeah.
funny though, because that is like a classic like tale, I feel. Like
Yeah.
people start with those like Neutrogena, I mean, Proactive, if we really want to take it back. You just really think that
Yes.
those are what's, and it's like so psychological because you
Yeah.
think that like, oh, the drying out is going to help. When, I mean, as we know, we talk all the time about on this podcast that it's quite literally the opposite of what you need
I
to do.
feel like though that we are taught that. Like there's a
Exactly.
huge marketing push. It's getting better, but I still feel like skin is something that we're taught to attack,
Mm-hmm.
to control, to suppress.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't until you start realizing, oh, wow, these things are just symptoms of something or messages, right? But you
Mhm.
don't
Right.
think that necessarily. You're not taught that.
No.
And it doesn't come intuitively. I think naturally you do just want to fight your skin and you don't look at it holistically. Like it's not your face, it's the pimples. Like get them off my face.
Yes.
Mhm.
No matter
Totally.
what.
Like
Yeah.
as soon as possible. So let's take it back. You have these skin problems. You find Nicola. What was it about her approach to skincare and clearing acne that really like resonated and worked for you?
I would say the first thing is just the level of care and kindness and how much she genuinely was like, I'm here and we got this and you will get better. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? Nobody else
Totally.
had that. Nobody else was texting me paragraphs. I couldn't call somebody else on the weekend. So
Yeah.
the support was incredibly high and
Right.
maternal and warm and like exactly what I needed.
Uh-huh.
Then obviously the knowledge was very high and she was going down creative avenues that I hadn't thought about before. Are you using the towels at gyms?
Mhm.
Are you using scented laundry detergent? Little things that I didn't realize could have been disrupting my barrier and sort
Mhm.
of causing this whole train wreck to happen, like from the root.
Mhm.
And then there was obviously going in to see her for the treatments, which were just wonderful. And I always left feeling, even though we were doing a million extractions and my face was kind of a mess afterwards,
Yep.
inevitably,
Mhm.
I felt so much better because I
Yeah.
felt like I was in the right hands. I felt like my skin was being looked at not just as skin and pimples, but as this holistic picture that needed care, not fixing.
I really do feel like you need that. Like you need, I always say, but I needed especially somebody on the outside to like really look at me and know what was going on. And then also know like, we're going to get through this. Cause to your point
Yes.
earlier, like it is such an emotional thing that you go through. It's such
Yes.
a, confidence, takeawayer, I suppose, like
Yeah,
for lack
no
of
matter
a better word.
how confident you appear on the outside, it's like
Mhm.
you're in an inner hell.
Right. Yeah.
Dealing with something that you don't feel is in your control. You don't have a handle on it and don't understand it. And sometimes you just feel like every day you're waking up, there's something new on your face.
Yes.
And depending on what you have to do, like going back to what I was saying about, high school is high school, but when you're in your mid-20s and you're starting your career and you're dating and you're out with your
Mhm.
girlfriends and things like that, every day when you're looking in the mirror, if you're not loving what you're seeing when you look in the mirror, it
Mhm.
has an impact on your psyche no matter how
course.
confident you are,
Mhm.
Of course.
you know?
I remember the first thing I would do in the morning, and Nicole and I talked about how I should not be doing this, was like looking in my magnifying mirror at my face
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
picking myself apart
Mhm.
and fueling this narrative that it was never going to get better. And that's the kind of thing that obviously the hormones set this off. And then
Mhm.
coupled with some bad product choices, I was using like a Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer. I was using
Mhm.
this Elta MD sunscreen moisturizer that like were just wreaking havoc on my skin, but I didn't know any better. And like my
Uh-huh.
dermatologist had recommended them. So I just assumed we were good. But I was in this very sensitive time because of the hormones and just whatever was going on.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really know what to tackle first. And that's where Nicola really came in because it was systematic. It was very
Mm.
efficient. It was
Uh-huh.
like no box was unchecked. She would text me in the middle of the night and be like, are you using this? I just thought about this, you know?
It's so
And
classic.
no stone was
Yeah.
unturned. And it was so important, not just for solving it, but also feeling like I was taken care of.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece that is missing for a lot of people.
Oh, I love that. Thank
Totally,
you.
totally.
You saved me, truly. It was like
Aw.
so important in my journey to have come across Nicola and still be seeing her for facials because stuff comes up, you know? I still have
Yeah.
questions and rashes and bumps and like
I don't love that you're getting bumps and rashes necessarily, but I have to say I love getting a text from you. Even the SOS text, I'm always like, because then we can like deal with that and catch up.
yes.
So I kind of in a weird way feel like the skin roller coaster.
And it's never an
Keeps me in
SOS
touch.
anymore.
No,
We're more
no.
just like I'm
Right.
like, hey, I got this thing,
Like,
but
what's happening?
it's very
Yeah.
few and far between. Like I feel like I'm on the other side of it.
Yeah.
But it took me a while.
Yeah.
You know, it took us a lot of teamwork.
I mean, do you feel like I know this about the community now, but going when I started Pacific Touch, there's always stereotypes around what is causing acne or who an acne prone person is. And I still see it on social media today. Like when a person has acne, the first thing people will do will be like imply there's either hygiene issues like, oh, you're not washing your face enough, or you need to use something stronger, or people will jump straight into food.
Okay, I
Oh,
was just gonna say dairy. I was like, oh, it's the dairy. It just
Yeah.
sounds like it would make you break
Mhm.
out.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and people will do that. But what I didn't realize, and it's just made me become more aware that it's a very underserved community under the umbrella of being acne prone, is there's a lot of very active, very healthy people that struggle with their skin because of lifestyle, stress, lots of different reasons. But the emotional component for them is very hard because they feel like they're doing everything.
Yes.
Did you feel, like at what point were you kind of like, oh my God, I need help because I just don't know what is going on?
Yeah, I think the archetype of person you're describing, I'm sure you see in your chair all the time. It's the type A perfectionist, very into wellness, probably going to multiple hot workout classes a week, and eating really clean and really caring about it and putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Like
Yeah.
that alone, I think, can cause acne, as
Of
I well now
course.
know.
Yeah.
And so I think that I remember it was summer of it must have been like 2017 or 18. I just remember being out on Long Island and looking in the mirror and just I was going to like some sort of day party and I just remember putting so much concealer. I had so
Yeah.
many pimples and things that I'd picked because that's also a thing that I do when things are getting really bad. I make it worse.
Mhm.
And I remember Lauren was actually staying in my house at that time. And I remember like confiding in her, like, I don't want to go out today or tonight. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel good about myself. I feel like it's all people are looking at. I felt the need to like announce my skin before I entered the room, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'd sit down with you right now and be like, don't mind my skin. Like, I'm going through like a thing right now.
I mean, obviously social media didn't exist and we didn't have smartphones then, so it wasn't so in my face, excuse the pun, but I do remember that like it's yesterday and it's been such a
Yes.
long time, almost feeling apologetic, like, oh, people have to, especially
Have
if I
to look
had
at this.
big white heads or
Mhm.
Yes.
cysts, it would be like, oh, I feel
Right.
yucky that people
Yeah.
need to look at
And it's like
me,
you want to
which
get
is so
ahead of it. Like, I
crazy.
already know what you're already thinking about
Yes.
me. You know what I mean?
It
Yeah.
made me feel in control to be like, hey, I
Yeah.
have this thing going on. I'm sure you noticed.
Mhm.
Even though the reality is, no one cares.
Yeah.
No one
is
cares.
looking at you like yourself.
Yeah.
No one has the microscope out like you.
Right.
But I think that weekend was the moment when I was like, I need help, and it's not coming from my derm right now. It's
Yeah.
just not. I
Yeah.
needed someone who was gonna take it a layer deeper. Not to downplay derms, they're very important. I love my derm,
Of course.
but I needed a different approach. And sometimes when you're trying something and it's not working, it's time to mix it up.
No, I understand that.
100%. Okay, so now that you're seeing Nicola and everything, really making some changes, what were the real things that you noticed started to work and like get the momentum going to get to that, we call it skin freedom, but clear skin?
Okay, so this was 7 years ago. So Nick, you're probably gonna have to tell me because you'll probably remember better than I will.
Yeah.
And I might have blacked it out of my memory
Uh-huh.
because there were so many iterations. I think the first thing was cleaning up my skincare.
Yeah.
Mm,
We really pared down the comedogenic ingredients. You looked through everything. I mean, Nicola was sifting through that. She had the magnifying glass out.
Yep.
And we pared it back. I switched over to a lot of Rococo, and really focused on more like soothing and supporting rather than stripping.
Yeah. I mean, I think the big thing for your skin journey, and it still is today, is the sensitive base that you had. Remember the bumps on your forehead?
Yes.
And
like the
getting
closed
irritated
comedones.
by sweat.
Yes.
And just knowing that you needed something to help, like introducing Mandelic way back was really big for you, I
Because I had
think.
fungal on my forehead.
Yes, from all the sweat and just
Yes.
everything going on. And also stress. I mean, stress pushes people, over the top with that. And I think making that, like knowing that you had, yes, breakouts, but actually your sensitivity was driving so much of it.
Yes.
And I think that was really watching you over the years. You've dealt with that more than anything, your sensitivity on all layers.
Yes.
And I think that the impact that it's had on your skin has been immense.
I'm a big believer, and for anyone listening that doesn't know, I've done a lot of nervous system regulation work, and it's helped me immensely with my chronic conditions. Mary knows.
Yes, I do.
And that has been like my biggest root cause of everything from pelvic pain to chronic strep to all of it. And so I think that when your nervous system is dysregulated, especially as mine was, you're way more sensitive and susceptible to things.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like I've now strengthened my base to a place where I could use a product and not have a full-fledged rash like I might have in the past. I'm still sensitive, right? Like that's innately still part of me and my skin and my body. But I think that I've sort of strengthened that base a little bit so that I can tolerate the cold weather, the wind, like things that would have just knocked me off before.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
COVID mask took me out.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I could probably handle one now, but that's because we have repaired my barrier so much. And I have also simultaneously really worked on regulating my nervous system.
Which has a profound effect. I mean, if you are dysregulated, it does. It elevates your inflammation and the inflammatory response. It increases oil production.
Yes, that's a big one for me.
The cortisol, huge.
Yes.
And
Like I had such a flaky scalp. It was then making my forehead break out, which was then causing closed comedones on my cheeks. And then I had perioral. I mean, there were a lot of different puzzle pieces that I feel like we had to sort of attack separately.
Yeah. And understanding, I think, learning that you need to pare back and calm and soothe the skin rather than resisting that urge to just jump in with everything that's more aggressive.
More isn't more.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a big learning that I had from you. It was like, we don't just want to like you would give me a product and be like, okay, use this on your forehead. And I'd be like, can I slather it all over my whole face? Because especially if something was working, I just assumed that if maybe we
should put it
should
everywhere.
layer it a little bit more.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
You have to be gentle and kind with your skin while
Yeah.
you're healing it. And I think a lot of people sort of try to bypass that because it feels counterintuitive to go low and slow.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone? Because I actually see it a lot in social media. I'll get tagged in videos where people are struggling and there'll just be amount of like a huge amount of advice. And, I always think, oh my God, how is this person going to sift through all of this?
Right.
What advice would you give to someone who's stuck in overwhelm, doesn't know where to start, is getting advice from all sorts of places? Like, what do they need to do?
I think you need to pick a source. For me,
Yeah.
it was Pacific Touch and you, because it can be very loud, especially with social media. And at that time, I don't even think we had reels. So like I was digesting a little bit less at
Yeah.
least. But there's so many cooks in the kitchen right now. Everyone's skin is so
Yeah.
different and responds so differently to things.
Mm.
So they really need someone like you who understands all the different skin types, understands all the different inputs and outputs. And I think that, aside from just receiving conflicting advice and that being confusing and then it doing the wrong thing,
Yeah.
it's just overwhelming.
Totally.
And overwhelm doesn't help your skin either. I keep going
Yeah.
back to that, but I think it's really important because
It's hugely
you're seeing
important.
all these different products and you're so desperate to be better.
Yeah.
I was ordering things all over the place. I remember I ordered like an apple cider vinegar toner and I was like, yeah, Nicole, like I saw this on somebody's thing and you were like, do not put apple cider
Yeah.
vinegar on your face right now. But I was so convinced by this post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're very susceptible. And so taking that into account when you make all of these decisions, purchases, outreach,
Mhm.
and just narrowing it down.
Yeah.
Less
I
is
think
more.
choosing sometimes, going back to what you said about when you first came to me, feeling connected to that maternal energy.
Yeah.
I do recognize when people are in a state of overwhelm, I think one of the benefits beyond just giving a treatment is being able to say to someone struggling, don't worry about it anymore. Like, I will tell you what to do,
Yes.
and you don't have to choose, or you don't have to, stress out and make the decision. I've got it. You
Mhm.
just do this and put all your energy into healing.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
Huge. That is
Mm.
so helpful, not just from a treatment plan perspective, which is very important, but from a knowing that you've got this. It's
Yeah.
no longer on me.
Mhm.
I can sit back, receive your text message with my explicit instructions and follow them diligently like a
Yep.
type A person
Yep.
would,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and know that this is like, not that this is a you problem now, but like you've got
But
this.
yeah. Yeah.
And I can delegate it to you, trust in you,
Mm-hmm.
and relax a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what I was saying earlier too with acne, especially, or any kind of skin problem is such an individual thing.
Yeah.
And I think we think it's so individual. And that's why we're going on social media and like seeing X, Y, and Z worked for this person and that person.
Mhm.
And it is so empowering to have just one person to go to and be like, can you please just help me? Can you take care of this? And you are so receptive to doing that, honestly.
It's so funny because I feel like I left my social work career in New Zealand and
Oh my
didn't
God.
think I was going to use it again,
Isn't that funny?
and really ended up enjoying,
Totally
like, it's
using
my
it.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my favorite part of, and I used to investigate child abuse. So it was like investigative skills plus needing to look after people that were very vulnerable. So it's like that mix
Yeah.
of tough love where we need to,
Mhm.
like don't use the apple cider vinegar, or don't, how I
Yes.
always joke with you
Yes.
in the treatment room, how a facial with me is always a little bit of me screaming, a little bit of, it'll always be, if I haven't seen you for a little while, you're going to kill me when I tell you this, but,
Yes.
and then the confessions will come,
Yep.
and then we'll realign and get back on track, but feeling cared for plus direction.
Yep. And it's
You
the
know?
combo. Like, you'll shoot me straight.
Yeah.
You're not going to sugarcoat, but you are going to be gentle with your delivery.
Uh-huh.
But also, it will be full of truths and
education.
direction. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, you mentioned earlier a little bit about your nervous system regulation. I feel like on social, you are like the queen for all like nervous system regulation content. What are a few of the tools in your toolkit that you use to really help, calm everything down, keep it all at bay? And what have you found helpful?
Yes. I think that anyone that's struggling with their skin, and if you're listening to this podcast, you probably at least have some understanding of that.
Totally.
Do not ever downplay the nervous system regulation piece. I remember being in Nicola's office and having like the little affirmations on the mirror, and just that alone can change your entire vibe
Totally.
and your whole nervous
Mhm.
system. It's like just a deep breath.
Mary actually said that when you
No,
first
when you
ever
said
came
that, I
in,
was
right?
like, even
You
before,
read it on the
yep,
wall.
I
and that-
remember. I remember before I started working for you, you had, before we even had like the affirmation cards or anything like that, it was just, I am grateful for the messages my skin is sending me. And that mental flip was like
Yes.
everything at the time.
Everything.
It's almost like I got it in that moment. You
Yep.
know, I was like, wait a minute. These are just messages. Something's happening and I got to get down to the bottom.
Stop fighting it and start listening to the
Yeah.
language of the
Exactly.
body. And that's like
Exactly.
really what I've learned in this entire nervous system regulation process.
Mhm.
So back to your question, the tools that I use. The biggest one has been Nicole Sachs' journal speak practice.
I need to read her book. It's next on my
Read
list.
the book. I should have
know.
brought it for you.
Oh my gosh, I need to.
Ugh, if anyone wants to know where to start reading Mind Your Body by Nicole Sachs.
Mhm.
Absolutely life-changing book. And I'm not a big self-help book kind of girl, but this is like one of my maybe 3 that I would ever recommend.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it is a 20-minute daily aggressive journal dump where you are unleashing all of your thoughts and feelings and the stuff that you would never want to say out loud, the stuff that you feel shameful about, embarrassed about, angry about, and you're just writing and releasing.
I'm getting tingles just listening to you saying
it's
that. Yeah.
and then you rip it up. And I quite literally, when I discovered Nicole's work, I was in a whole other dark place aside from just the skin. And I really never in a million years would have thought that a journaling practice would change my life in the way that it has. It is my medicine. I come back to it every night. It is the way to get the steam out of the valve, Nicole always says, because when that cylinder gets full of steam and it
Yeah.
starts to explode,
Yeah.
that's when you get symptoms. That's when all of a sudden your skin can't take it anymore. That's when, for me, the chronic pain started. And so I do that every day. I wake up and I do like a 5 to 10 minute breath work meditation every day. And that's pretty much it. I don't think nervous system regulation has to be so complicated because
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're then becoming overly regimented
Almost
and strict about
stressed
that.
about getting things
You don't
in,
want that.
right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And the other thing that I will say, two things. One is taking like a candlelit shower at night, not in the light. Like
Oh, I love that.
I'm not saying to like slip and
Elizabeth.
fall in the dark, but darker.
Okay.
Do you hate that?
No. But you know how you and I
Yes.
are weirdly on the same level about, I'm going to text you a photo of this later on. So Mary knows that, lots of people that know me know this. I have huge sleep issues because of my daughter. Just her sleep disturbances have impacted mine.
Yeah.
So I live with chronic sleep deprivation. Her dad, just last week, we've been kind of working out how can I help myself
Mhm.
in the current environment that we live in,
Mhm.
right? Because you have to be realistic. It's
Yes.
like sometimes you do have the environment that's conducive with what you want to do. Sometimes you don't, but you don't not do the thing just because of that. So it's like,
Yes.
what can we do? I kid you not. He told me he's put a candle and a little lighter, and he said to me, no matter what's going on when I'm home, like I'll have noosh. You just have a 20-minute shower at night with the
Wow.
lights down with this candle.
That's so cute.
Stop.
That was
Wow.
last week.
No.
Wow. Wow, you guys really are
It's
on
so
a
funny because I
wavelength.
wasn't even going to mention it because I'm sharing so many things, but I'm like, that is a free way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's real
my
science
gosh.
about what it does to your nervous
Yeah.
system to not be under beaming lights when you shower, which
Uh-huh.
just isn't pleasant anyway.
Yeah.
It does something very real. Has it been helping?
So I haven't started it, but I'm so
Yeah,
gonna
you need
start.
to stop.
Reminder.
Yeah,
I
by the
just-
time this podcast
I'm
comes
sitting
out, you
in
need
shock. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I know, and I don't know what the technical term for this is, but it is that thing of, learned behavior. Like you learn to, like, for me, my saving grace in the last decade has been Pacific Touch for my own nervous system.
to.
No matter what is going on at home for me or just what I'm going through, the minute I step in that door and I put the wave machine on and I put my hands on my client, I get this overwhelming feeling of calm
You're like in flow
and I
state.
reset. And I do think that there are little things where you just you put your mind into, okay, it's wind down time now.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you do it, the more it
Yes.
happens,
Yeah,
right?
you wire your brain literally to associate the two together.
Yeah,
Wind down, shower, go to sleep.
yeah.
It's the same thing with like me doing my journal speak at night or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Mhm.
By the way, everyone's recipe is different. So I share all
Yeah.
of this stuff, and this is kind of what I do on my podcast too, as like a menu.
Mhm.
Does this sound good? Try it.
Right.
None of this is like a prescriptive one size fits all. I think it also requires a little bit of trial and error. One more thing I will add that I saw the other day on social media, which is like during the day when you're tapping your foot while you're waiting in line and you're feeling rushed and you're eating your breakfast really fast, all of that is signaling to your nervous system that like we're being chased by a tiger.
Yeah.
So just trying to, and I'm not saying we need to slow our whole days down because I know everyone is busy and has families and all the things. Just in each little thing that you're doing throughout the day, whether you are waiting for the subway or eating your breakfast or savoring your latte, try to do it slightly slower.
Mhm.
And it really makes a big difference and
Mhm.
it adds up. So there's a lot of like little tweaks we can make throughout the day to sort of signal to our nervous system that we're safe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it makes a big difference in your health.
Totally.
Do you know what's really interesting? The emphasis on nervous system regulation in the mainstream is something that we've been living with Noosh because of autism. Everything in her life is about calming down that dysregulation.
Right.
And there's so many stimming behaviors that Noosh has that are actually things that people do to calm their bodies
She's
down.
trying to regulate through
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And it's intuitive and natural to her,
Yeah.
but it's things that people are starting to do. Or there's lots of activities that I do with Noosh where I'm like, oh, wow, this would be so good for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to do the
Of
deep
course.
pressure massages and the deep brushing, or even just what you were saying about slowing down. Like sometimes I will be brushing her hair and I'll just like do it a little slower
Mm-hmm.
and put some, you know how I say to you too about when you're putting your skincare on, like don't rush, be
Right.
soft, like
Yeah.
feed your
Don't
skin, like turn it into a
Yeah, you
nice.
always say that we're all too harsh on our skin when we're putting on our
It's
skincare.
true. Why are we so aggressive?
We're so aggressive.
It's our
She's
face.
like, she's like, I see people do makeup videos and they're just like putting the brush,
Stippling
like
the brush so
stamping
fast.
themselves. It's so funny, but yeah, the all of the nervous system regulation. I feel like is just it's such an unlock, but it's so interesting because and now it's a little bit more in the mainstream and we talk about it a lot more. But I think there was a time that it was kind of considered all woo woo. Like,
Yes.
you know, even your journal speak, I would argue that, I mean, I think it sounds amazing, but in general, I feel like people would give pushback to it because they think it's like, it's too woo woo.
Oh.
That like writing in a journal is not going to like solve my chronic problems. There's not going to clear my skin, or even like meditation isn't going to clear my skin. Like, what do I actually need to do? So, in your
Yes.
perspective, what would you say to that kind of pushback?
Oh, I get it all the time.
I'm sure.
And I empathize with it and understand it deeply because
Mhm.
that was me. I was like, there's literally no way, Nicola, that these affirmations are going to help.
No,
There's no way
same.
that this journaling is going to help. I'm not
Mhm.
going to be gentle with my skin right now, Nicola, because I hate it.
Yeah.
You know, like I've so been there. And so I
Uh-huh.
say this not from a place of never having understood it. It's frustrating because I'll get comments, people will be like, "Oh, that's snake oil." And my ask is that people just give it a try.
Mm.
And by the way, I had to get to an actual rock bottom before I was willing to
Mhm.
really, really dedicate myself to this. I saw it a bunch. I was like, it's not for me. That's my problems are different and special and extra bad.
Mhm.
And it's not going to work for me. And so I would just say that it finds you at the right time. And if it's not resonating for you right now, no one has to force
I love
anything.
that.
Right?
Totally.
I actually say to my
Totally.
team all the time, because I am in the same camp as you. There will be, I mean, people definitely want the facial, they definitely want the extractions. But when I tell them that their homework is breath work or, you know, like affirmations, journaling, that sort of thing, the look on the face
It's like, no.
the pushback
Yeah.
about the woo woo. And I have said to my team, you know, we're not in the business of converting. If people
Exactly.
aren't ready, you give them the information,
Yes.
you know, and it will, to your point, when the time is right, it'll happen for you. That is true of everything in life, but definitely about mindset and because I think too, I have seen people, and I don't know if you've had this experience yourself or you've seen people do this where they've tried something, but their mind isn't really in it. They're doing
Yes.
it almost in a functional way
Check the box.
to check it, but
Very different.
yeah,
Intention matters
yes,
immensely. So if you're not
yes,
there
yeah,
and you're forcing it and you're mad about it and you're checking
Mhm.
it off a list, because I've been there. I did that with the meditations initially. It doesn't move the needle.
yeah.
So you have to be there. And I think it's important for people like us who are talking about this kind of stuff to have
Mhm.
patience for people getting there.
Right. Yeah. You really have to want it. I've noticed. Like, you really have to your point, like, reach that rock bottom before you actually make some sort of change, which I'm sure like a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
You know what I really hope that on an education level, or just as a society, we make a decision to start teaching this to our little ones. I feel
know.
like by the time we need it, meaning, you know, 20s or when we start to get stressed in life, if this is something that we were doing, like I've been doing affirmations with Noosh even when she was nonverbal. I used to just say them. Now she says them with me, and we
Wow.
have been doing them forever. And it's just, she knows she will even do them now before I start.
Oh.
Amazing.
And yeah, I
So
know
cute.
it's the cutest thing ever.
It's everything.
But it is like when you plant that seed and it becomes natural, it's like brushing your teeth, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
You just do it. And I think that is the pushback comes because you're having to teach something It's rewiring the whole way that you look at what's important in health, wellness, and everything. Whereas if we valued it right from the beginning and it was taught when we were little, we half of us wouldn't have the problems we
Oh,
right.
I absolutely believe that. I believe that. And it would give us a toolkit innately from a young age
Yeah.
to handle stress, because this isn't to say that nervous system regulation protects you from these things. Everything still comes up.
Mm-hmm.
All three of
Mhm.
us still experience the highs and lows
Right.
and ups
Yep.
and downs.
Mhm.
It's more that you're less shakeable to them.
Yeah.
And I
More
think,
resilient to it, and you don't fight it.
yes.
You know, one of the things that I will often say to people, and it's something that I learned when I was young and it stuck with me forever, is don't fight the pain. Like, accept it, move through it, and do what you need
Yes.
to do to get on the other side of it. But don't necessarily
Mhm.
avoid. Avoidance doesn't help 100%,
Mhm.
you know?
Nor does trying to push it down.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that
Yeah.
obviously really applies to skin.
Yeah.
It's so much easier said than done to be like, accept the discomfort of it. But it really,
Yeah.
once you stop trying to like fight your way through it
Yeah.
and surrender a bit, it really helps the process.
Totally. It's so funny. I feel like you use that example all the time of like letting the pain like wash over you. We could be talking about getting extractions or like something even bigger of like, I don't know, a big like life hard thing that you're going through. Like you use that a lot of just like
Yeah.
letting the pain or the struggle like go through you and accept it almost.
I feel like it's, you know, your friend Nicole that talks about releasing the steam.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing for me with the pain analogy. It's like when people fight, they close up,
Yes.
the fists are tight, the breath is held. You can almost feel the energy of stress, but it's stuck, it's stagnant. Whereas when you let go and release, you know, through journal, like the journaling that you were talking about,
Mhm.
especially knowing your personality,
Oh,
I can imagine how much of a
Yeah.
transformation that was for
nearly
you.
immediately.
Yeah. I haven't done it yet, I'll confess.
No, like I'm reading the book. I'm ordering it as soon
Ladies,
as I
it
get
is
from here. No, I
time.
know.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Seriously, I need to.
If you feel called, obviously.
Well,
I
I'm
feel
feeling
cool.
called.
Yeah.
This is like my sign for sure.
It's really cathartic.
Yeah. Well, lots of women, including myself, by the way, I'm like your biggest fan, I have to say.
Thank you.
See you as such an expander, which you talk a lot about with the to be magnetic. I know that that's like a whole other thing that we can get into by Lacey Phillips. They see you as this like, you know, beautiful person, obviously, like have all the things and a lot of things are going for you. But it's so interesting too that at the same time, like you've had your rock bottom, you've had the skin struggles. It's honestly so inspiring. I mean, like I said, you are such an expander for me, which is a term that you learn about in to be magnetic.
Thank you.
And just seeing this transformation is just so cool, especially like, and this is more of a selfish question. I am in my last year of my 20s, and I feel like seeing you and everything that you've accomplished, as you said, like getting married at 33 and kind of like entering this new chapter right now in your 30s. So, and I hope that other people can relate to this, and I'm sure that they can.
Mhm.
What do I have to look forward to in this like next chapter?
Oh, I remember Nicola telling me this before I turned 30. Your best years. And I always thought when I was in my 20s that people were just saying that. I was like, well, they have no
Uh-huh.
choice because they are in their 30s or above. And so they have to say that
Yeah.
it's better.
Yeah.
It genuinely is.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Your
Really?
tolerance for BS is so much lower.
Mhm.
Your decision making is higher. Your self worth is higher. The decisions, the people around you, the career, everything starts to match that because
Yeah.
you just have this elevated sense of self. Like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, but I'm like,
Oh.
I give so many less F's than I did in my
You
20s.
wait till you're 50s.
Yes,
Wow.
your
There's
circle
no
gets tighter.
F's left at all.
Everything
sure.
is better.
Yeah.
Dating is better because you know what more clearly what you want.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to waste anybody's time. I don't know. I just found that I became way more diligent, efficient, and certain about the things in my life that mattered.
Uh-huh.
Do you I met my partner later, like in my mid 30s too.
Mhm.
And I was the last one to have a child in my group and do all of the kind of adult things.
Mhm.
I was floating around, and I would be not telling the truth if I didn't say that I was nervous that I wasn't going to meet the right person. hindsight I know is 2020, but when I look back now, I almost recommend it. Like I'm like, the
Yes.
quality of my relationship is so good because I met him at an older age where I was more mature. We just I always say to my clients, I'm like, enjoy, stay
Yes.
single,
Yes.
fall in love with yourself and get to know you and build on you, because the rest, it's just, I don't know, the quality is so much better
Yeah, and
later
you
on.
also have the rest of your life to spend with
Yeah,
the person that's coming. Like,
yeah.
enjoy the moments that are solo. Enjoy, watching your Real Housewives on the couch with nobody
Yep.
Oh my God.
saying
Love
anything
that.
about
Yeah.
it. Enjoy your single era and your living alone era. It's all precious. Like all of
Yeah.
these, as much as I obviously would so much prefer where I am now, I wouldn't change a thing about when I
Yeah.
was single, when I went through a breakup, my skin issues, my gut issues, my pelvic pain issues, like none of it I would change. And I never in a million years thought I would have been able to say that. And I think that that goes for anyone listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. That's on like real growth, honestly. So inspiring. All right. So I feel like you are the like perfect example for you have all of the best recs, like you know everything of what to do. So I thought that we would end off on a little rapid fire. Rapid
Please.
fire favorites is what I'm calling it. And I really do
Great.
love Nick knows I like a rapid fire moment.
She loves it.
All right. So best matcha for at home.
I knew you were going to ask.
Oh
this.
my gosh. Well,
I knew that was going to be the first
I'm on this
question.
new matcha journey right now, so I really actually do need this, like for Mary Self.
Okay, so it's 12 matcha, and you have to go to the store on
Yep.
Bond Street
Mhm.
and buy it. And
Okay, I'm
there's a
familiar.
1 and a 2, and the 2 is a little bit more expensive, but if you want to get a little crazy, it is so
Do you recommend the
vibrant.
2?
Yeah,
Okay, good
it's
to know.
delicious.
Okay, well, it's actually so funny because I wanted to go to 12 matcha before this because I knew that you love it, but like I really just could not bet on the line that I knew was going to be out the door.
Is it back to being a long line? Because I was going in like the really crappy weather winter months, and I was gliding right in. But I
Oh my
assume
gosh.
spring
Okay,
is gonna be
Miriam
bad.
tried to go on a crappy day and there was
I
a long
tried to
line.
go on a freezing cold
No.
day.
She's been
Line out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, line out the
Trying
door.
to-
How
into
early are you
this.
going? Because I'm there at like opening.
Okay, so I didn't do
Maybe
that.
that's a
I was in like kind of mid afternoon, but
Pro
then I
tip,
thought like
yeah.
that would be like, yeah, well,
It's
whatever.
We need like a dash cam on the.
No,
to know what the
seriously,
line
I
looks
thought
like.
about that this morning. I was like, I really wish that there was some, I don't know, something outside on the street to really let me know what the camera situation is.
100%. I will just add a couple of other options because I
Please
understand
do.
that's not the most attainable
Mhm.
option. Peak is an amazing brand.
We love
I use
Peak.
those
Mhm.
packs for travel. I know you love the
Yep.
immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmic Cultures is also an amazing brand. Super vibrant and green. Shayna's Kitchen makes a great
Oh,
one.
I love Shayna.
Nekohama is great. So
Mhm.
there's tons of amazing options, but there's also some really bad options. So try to
Exactly,
go from that
but that's
list.
again, I'm on this like matcha journey, and I know that there are some bad options, so I'm really trying to sift through like what would actually be good.
Yes.
So, what about best matcha in the city? I'm assuming 12.
It's 12, but it's also Matchaful is great. Interlude uses really great matcha.
Yes, love
The
Interlude.
Elk.
Love.
But it's also a matter of like what milks and stuff you like because not
Totally.
all of these places have the same,
Mhm.
thing going on. So it's a little trial and error, but those are my top.
I love that. What's your favorite workout studio in the city right now?
Ooh, I have been doing a lot of Dance Body Sculpt in Tribeca.
I've been seeing that.
Really
Dance
big
Body
fan.
Sculpt.
Not a dance girl, exclusively sculpt class,
Uh-huh.
but they have a lot of very dancey classes for people that are more inclined.
Okay.
I did my first class a few months ago and it was really fun. I really need to go back because I'm pretty sure they actually have, for people that are in the city, they have like a week $49 unlimited
Yes.
intro offer,
Which
which
is
I love
great.
it when they have like intro offers like that.
Miriam
Yeah.
went to salsa.
Oh,
Yeah, I took a
Mary.
salsa class
With-
a couple weeks.
yeah,
No,
with
was it last
Ariana.
week? 2 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. Well, I'm really trying to like, get out of my shell, do like some dance classes
Yep.
and stuff like that. So I did that. It was fun. I've never salsa before. I really felt like I was on Dancing with the Stars. Like in my head, I thought I was training. And
Did
then I
you
was like,
feel
I
like-
could do this.
Yeah, did you feel like you could like apply it?
Yeah, totally. I mean,
IRL?
I really was like, it honestly, and I was saying this before on the podcast, like it really depends on your lead. Like if you're the they call it like it's like the guy girl,
Mm-hmm.
role, I suppose. And I feel like if you have a good lead, especially like as the follower, like,
Oh my
you
God,
could
that's
do well.
a good analogy of what we've been talking about on the pod.
Yeah,
with
like
skin
Yes.
healing journey, when you have a good
You're the
lead.
lead.
the
Like,
lead.
gosh, whoa, that's
Find
really
your
like full
lead.
circle. There we
Yeah,
go. I
that.
love that.
great comparison.
What's your favorite account on Instagram right now?
Ooh,
Oh, that's a good one.
good
Yeah.
question. I wasn't
Thanks.
expecting that. What's been
I'm
making me
trying to think
feel
of
really
mine.
good? I really like Vienna Farron.
Oh,
I think her handle is like Mindful MFT. She's a
okay.
therapist and just has really good advice. I also happen to have her on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, so she's been more top of mind.
Uh-huh.
But it's really good, relatable, feel good, therapy style content.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I'll definitely have to check it out.
You know, I'm going to be getting into it straight away.
Yes.
I love
Totally.
that.
Yes.
What about the best either account or book for recipe inspo? Because lately you've been posting like the best food
Thank
for at
you.
home.
I've really been on my cooking journey.
I can tell.
And it's been very simple. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
not fancy in the kitchen, but who do I love? Oh, Glow with Ella.
Oh, we
Mm.
love
Wisma
her.
Ella. Yeah.
Mhm.
Great
Yeah.
recipes. She's who really got me hooked on like seasonal fresh produce. I use
Yeah.
this like farmer's box delivery every Sunday. And so I get like a random array of fruits and vegetables. And it's like pushed me outside of my comfort zone to make bok choy and like things that normally I
Uh-huh.
would not have grabbed at the grocery store. I also just think it's better for our bodies to be eating local, organic,
Yeah,
seasonal where you
totally.
can.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Totally. Love that. If you can only shop at one store, what would it be?
Do I have an unlimited budget?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Mary's like, yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
If it were
Taking note.
unlimited, it would be Loro Piana.
Oh, whoa, I was not expecting you to say that.
And you know, as is, I don't know, maybe something like a Moda or a Forward that has
Yeah.
a lot of range.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. And lastly, what is your favorite skin affirmation?
Ooh.
Or any kind of affirmation. I suppose it doesn't really have to
No,
be
I like
skin.
the skin angle. Let me think. I mean, I love what you guys said at the beginning about your skin being a messenger
Mm.
because
Totally.
it really puts you not on the attack
Mm-hmm.
and it puts you in the listening seat, which I
Uh-huh.
think is something that more people need to be doing with their skin.
I love that. I love
I
that.
think
That's
too,
like such a mic
when
drop.
yeah, whenever you have something that can profoundly just shift your way of thinking straight
Mhm.
away, you know,
That's when you know it was for you.
for you,
Yes.
Like
'cause
like
it's
exactly what you
Mhm.
said with the affirmations. It's
Mhm.
when it lands, it lands.
Mm.
You don't have to force
Yep.
it, as with everything we're talking about on this podcast.
Yeah, totally. Well, Elizabeth, this has been such a dream. I feel so grateful to have you on. I know Nick can say the same. This is, like I said, incredibly full circle, manifestation come to life. And just thank you so much for your time, truly.
It's such an honor. You guys, please don't thank me. I love you both, and I'm so happy to be here. I will come on anytime.
Oh my
We can
gosh.
talk all
you know,
things
we'll hold
skin.
you to that.
Yeah, literally
I mean,
whenever.
seriously.
I can't even, I mean, when I think about how far we've come, when I first met you, I remember you were my hype person to push me to go onto Instagram stories. I was
Yes,
too scared
yes.
to go on
The
stories.
stories.
And then you were my first Instagram live. Like we did
Yes.
during the pandemic, we did a demo. I
Yes.
was petrified. I couldn't eat or
And look at
do
you now.
anything.
She sits here with a mic.
I know. It's
She's
just with
so
ease.
comfortable.
But
so
you
true.
are always in my orbit, and I love you for that. I really
Aw.
do.
Well, it's the very least I could do given how much you've done for me, but I'm so grateful for your friendship and all of it. Like again, everything for a reason. Came across
Absolutely.
you for a reason. Wouldn't
Yeah.
change a thing about this entire crime scene of a skin journey that I feel like I went
Stop.
through at times.
Yeah.
Because it led us all here, right?
Yeah. Well, where can everybody find you, follow, all the things?
So on Instagram, you can follow me at Endres-Orrigo or at the Wellness Process Pod. Same with TikTok and YouTube, I believe, for the Wellness Process. And then anywhere that you can listen to a podcast, Apple, Spotify, it's just the Wellness Process Podcast.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, Nick, for all of your insight as well.
This has been such a dream.
I
I
know,
love it.
such a dream. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Skin Talk Tuesday podcast. As always, please leave us a DM if there's anything that you want to hear from us. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Thank you guys.